A state with a diverse landscape providing endless opportunities for all things outdoors. The kind of landscape that makes you go, I had no idea this was here. A place where moments of peace can be found in even the simplest of ways. And a place whose abundance of wildlife is nothing short of awe-inspiring. Join me for our journey through the surprisingly beautiful wonderland that is South Dakota. This video is going to start exactly where you think it will, and I'm going to address it now so we can get it out of the way and move on to bigger and better things. The Badlands. Whether from a Springsteen song or pictures on Instagram, chances are you know a little something about this place. And there's good reason for that. This place is indeed beautiful. Millions of years of hard work depositing and subsequently exposing various layers of sedimentary rock and their respective fossils have yielded an environment that is nothing short of otherworldly. It cannot be ignored that the Badlands and South Dakota, like much of the western United States, have a complicated history with the people who once solely inhabited this land. A history that is far too complicated to be addressed appropriately in this short video. And for their part, the National Park Service does not shy away from this complicated history. So with that, I'll say that having the chance to see these beautiful formations up close and personal is, in a word, amazing. And if you have the opportunity, you should absolutely take advantage of it so you could see them, as well as the abundant wildlife that inhabits this park. But the Badlands are hardly the only thing that makes South Dakota beautiful.
Did you just come in?
Yeah.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah. It is 5:45. I'm eating Cheez-Its. Because we were going hiking. We were heading to the trail early because it's going to be hot. And let the record show that I am raw dogging this hike with no coffee.
No sooner do we start our hike in the Black Hills National Forest did I realize I was somewhere truly special. Granite peaks jutting from the Earth's surface are not only beautiful, but they make you really forget about the, let's say, different landscape of South Dakota's neighbor to the north.
How are you doing?
Great, there's nothing to look at. There's absolutely nothing to look at. I mean, we're in the Great Plains, so it makes sense. It's just flat, that's about it. But it does not make for a very entertaining drive. Come on, you climb Mount Washington. You can do it. This is cool. It's gonna look even better in a minute. But once we finally made it to the top of the highest peak east of the Rocky Mountains, well, I'll let the views do the talking. Now for the way back down. Should go a little bit quicker, but this is why we hike early, kids. It's 9:30. We're well on our way back down. It's already 80 something degrees. It's gonna be a hot one today. We're glad we went early.
Very good.
Yeah, definitely a good decision. So we just took Pearl to get washed. It was much needed. We probably shouldn't have even let it go that long, but particularly the drive from North Dakota to South Dakota has been probably the, I don't want to say buggiest, but probably between bugs and dirt, a lot of dirt roads we drove on. I'm gonna put a photo in here of what she looked like before, and now here's what she looks like after. We can't let it get that bad again. It's still not perfect. That's the crazy thing. We went through this kind of horse shit car wash at a Circle K. No shade on Circle K for that, but it was not aggressive enough for what we needed. Normal wash, it's probably fine, reasonably priced, but it wasn't aggressive enough, but got the job done for now. But despite the high temperatures that we were seeing in the morning and early afternoons, the late afternoons and evenings usually looked like this.
found myself eagerly awaiting these rainstorms in the early afternoon, as it gave me a moment to truly reflect and appreciate the adventure that we were on. And amidst the chaos of a life of full-time travel, I'd lost sight of the fact that these moments of gratitude are incredibly important. And I would soon find out that there was a whole lot more to be grateful for, as the adventure was just beginning.
So this morning, we will be driving through the other side of Custer State Park. By other side, we did Black Elk Peak. We hiked Black Elk Peak. Black Elk. Good morning. Today we will be driving the wildlife loop through the main section of Custer State Park, and then we're going to be heading down to Wind Cave National Park. Now, we're only going to be really driving through and doing a hike in Wind Cave because the cave is closed. Through the fall, they're going to be repairing one of the elevators that actually brings you down into the cave for tours. We're hoping today is as much, if not more, of a wildlife day than yesterday was. We saw a whole shit ton of bison yesterday and a whole shit ton of prairie dogs too. What do you think about them?
They're cute.
They're cute, but they're annoying as shit.
They were loud.
Man, these things do not shut up. Got bison.
Oh, they're right here, Bryan.
You can inch forward, you're good. It's beautiful. This guy right here. Not that I'm complaining, because
There's no way they can move all these in here. I read about that. What do they do? What do they do?
We're gonna find out. I don't know.
I don't want them to lick Pearl.
They're not gonna lick Pearl. No, they're probably just gonna keep moving. They just threw a fucking hot dog out the window. I don't know if that came through on camera, but they did just throw a goddamn hot dog through the window to try to get the bison away.
Will my camera make a noise and startle them?
No, it's not gonna startle them. It'll be okay. Karen and the bison. It's your old pal.
Of course, I got the zoom lens on. I can't get them.
I mean, that was
something.
that's the most bison we've ever seen. They look drastically different from the ones in Yellowstone. I don't know if you noticed that.
So many babies.
We didn't get it on film, but the car in front of us we thought was gonna get rammed by this
yeah.
bull that was running right across the street.
They're both kind of.
Holy shit.
Got nothing on film with that.
No, it was the same one that I'll drop the clip in who was just scratching himself on a tree. But goddamn, that was awesome.
He was charging too.
That was sick. Glad to see your friends again.
Yeah.
Well, we spoke too soon. I was just saying, I bet what we saw was a big chunk of the herd that's managed in this state park for the bison. And
They're so big. Oh my god.
that's it, buddy. Scratch it out.
Though our time in Wind Cave National Park was brief, I cannot stress this enough, you absolutely should go. The rolling hills and open prairies provide numerous hiking opportunities that should not be missed, and even though we didn't do a cave tour that day, it seems that can be extremely fascinating. A fun fact that I learned that day is that despite the numerous caverns that are seen on these cave tours, based on airflow studies, it's estimated that this represents less than 10% of what's actually out there, meaning that there's a lot more to be explored, and that South Dakota's beauty will only increase with time.
So repeat what you just said.
I said no one would ever believe us if we told them the amount of bison that were at that park entrance before. And now there's nothing. Like, where did they all go?
It's pretty wild.
It's amazing to me.
Yeah.
How many were there? All on the bathrooms. They were on the lawn of the entrance area.
And now there's not a single one
Not
there.
a single one in sight. A
Yeah.
lot of poop,
There was a lot of poop, yeah.
but nothing.
Crazy.
We opted to spend our last full day in South Dakota exploring a bit of the town. What town is that, you may ask? Well, despite what you may be thinking, we were not actually staying in Rapid City. We were staying in a town just outside of Rapid City, a place where you may find this establishment. If you know, you know. But we did in fact spend that day exploring Rapid City. Prior to that, a workout was in order. And obviously playing this ring game that happened to be in the garage where we were staying that I spent an embarrassing amount of time trying to get all the rings on the board. And eventually, I persevered, finished my workout, and we began exploring Rapid City. Now my notes on Rapid City are brief. Graffiti Alley is worth checking out. Main Street has some shops and restaurants that are also worth checking out. I'm going to give a shout out to Zamurkrisy Brewing Company. And for you history buffs out there is in fact a piece of the Berlin Wall here. And if you're like Karen and you enjoy sweets, then the Rushmore Candy Company is a place that you must go. Although, unlike us, you should probably keep your bill to way less than $70. And speaking of Rushmore, you didn't think I forgot about it, did you? The monument itself and the ice cream were incredibly impressive. We opted to go at night to see the monument get lit up as the sun sets and the ceremony honoring service members in the crowd that night. Oh, and if leaving events with a lot of people ever gives you anxiety about how the hell you're going to get out of there in your car, fear not. Mount Rushmore has the most efficient parking setup I've ever seen. You just have to experience it. Good morning. So, it is 5:30 a.m. It's too early to be awake.
I don't think so.
No, you don't think so. It's 5:30. We are currently driving. We are leaving South Dakota today, but that's not what we're doing right now. We're doing that later on this morning. Right now, we are heading back to Custer State Park. We saw a lot of animals the other day when we were there, and we couldn't pass on the opportunity to go back much earlier and see what we can see as the sun is, starting to rise over the park. So we'll find out. Pretty uneventful so far. Seen a couple pronghorns, 2 nice bucks, and a doe. Saw some donkeys when we were here the other day. Those aren't out. I'm not really sure what the deal with the donkeys is in Custer State Park, but anyway, we're not seeing them today so far. We're hoping to beat some of this road work that they've been doing. It was kind of a pain in the ass the other day. No bighorn sheep. I'm not optimistic about that. We saw one bison. I don't know. I'm kind of over the bison at this point. There's more prairie dogs. Fuckers. We saw some elk. They were too far away to really get any good photos or videos of. They were probably at least a mile away. A ridge line. So now if only we could see a fucking bighorn sheep, it'd be great. I don't think it's gonna happen. Well, we're back to seeing big herds of bison. There's at least 50 of them. There they are. Hug the. Nope, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. That's fine, everybody. Just take your time. When When you spend enough time traveling, you find yourself getting surprised by places quite often. Rarely do you visit somewhere and it's exactly what you were thinking it would be. If that were the case, there'd really be no point to travel. And yes, sometimes there are bad surprises along the way. But with an open mind, it's more likely that you'll come across places you may have otherwise overlooked, but become places that you forever recommend. And for me, South Dakota has become one such example. I hope you'll take some time to explore this wonderful state and see all of its beauty for yourself. Thank you for watching, and if you'd be so kind, hit that like and subscribe button so I can continue to grow this channel and bring you more stories from life on the road. And I will see you in the next one. Okay, love you, bye.